Location: Mishawaka, Indiana, USA. Shape: sphere. Duration: 1.5 minutes. No of observers. 6 bright orange sphere over Mishawaka, Indiana on the night of July 2, 2010. My wife, 3 kids, and a neighbor, and myself witnessed something extraordinary. It was a glowing orange ball, orb, heading on a north by northwest trajectory and was about 200 to 300 feet in the sky. It was totally silent, was going very straight and swift, and was quite bright. The light intensity was steady, never flickered or changed intensity at all. It never deviated in elevation as it came overhead and passed over us. We were almost under it. My one daughter was actually crying. It was so odd. The thing that baffles me most, I never saw anything like it before. I really wanted to say it was a Chinese sky lantern or a homemade hot air balloon. But I never saw one ever like this. I used to make and fly model hot air balloons. I even sold plans on how to build one in the classifieds of a particular magazine. I've made them out of clear dry cleaner bags and tissue paper, etc. I've flown probably 60 to 70 model hot air balloons in my lifetime. I'm 43. And never seen anything like what we saw on the night of July 2nd. Me and my wife are avid sky watchers and definitely know what meteors, satellites, planes, ISS, etc. looks like. This defies explanation to us. What we saw, and we were close to it, was a bright round orange light inside what seemed to be a perfectly round glass sphere. I guess that would be my best description. I would guess, and this is just a guess based on my experience, to be around 7 to 8 feet in diameter. Perhaps what seemed to be a glass sphere surrounding the ball of light could have actually been just the flare effect of the bright light. Also, we had a county fair going on that night. But this came from a direction that it couldn't possibly have came from the fair. I'm puzzled to explain it.
Occurred the 5th of July 2011, 0 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Location: Mishawaka, Indiana, USA. Shape: light. Duration: 90 seconds. No of observers. 2 characteristics: changed color, 2/4 orange circles of light over Mishawaka, Indiana. My mother and I pulled in the driveway, got out of car. I got some things from the back seat, and as I turned I saw 2 orange circles of light flashing in the southeastern sky. They seemed like they were about a 1/2 mile away when we first spotted them, and maybe they were the size of a small helicopter. I had just came back from watching fireworks and had my camera in my front pocket. I grabbed it and started filming it. They came forward side by side very slowly. Since I was using a digital camera, I only taped it for 32 seconds and then shut the camera off and tried to take a picture of it but didn't get anything. They were getting closer and I forgot to turn the camera back on because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. They were getting closer and I forgot to turn the camera back on because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. They eventually turned to the right and seemed to be on top of each other, and then they flew almost out of sight. We came inside and I called the police and reported it and asked if anyone else had seen it, and they said they hadn't received any calls as of yet. I then powered up my PC to get the UFO hotline and called them and reported it. After I spoke to him, I checked my camera and we only saw 2 orange lights, but the camera picked up 4 blinking orange and blue lights. I then went back outside and there was sets of 2 lights in the sky everywhere. It seemed like hundreds of them. I ran back to the phone to call the hotline back to report them. They are still out there at 1:39 a.m. They look like stars, but if anyone looks close, every light has a second light the same distance from it, and there are groups of 2 lights all over the sky. There are so many here I can't find the Big Dipper. I called a friend of mine in Elkhart, Indiana to tell him what I saw, and after I told him, he said he was driving back from Chicago, Illinois, and saw some strange lights in the sky as well, and when I told him about the lights that I am still seeing, he described the same thing to me. NUFORC note. Time above was misstated by witness. We have corrected time to indicate a sighting just after midnight. We do not know what the witness observed. PD.
Occurred The 21st of July 2007, 6 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds. Location: Mishawaka, Indiana, USA. Shape: fireball. Duration: 10 minutes. Know of observers: 1. Characteristics: left a trail. July 21st, 07, Mishawaka, Indiana. Falling star looking light. 0630 stopped falling and just sat there in the sky. 1 light with a tail moving across the sky in the morning. Not like an airplane, more like an asteroid. I thought I was watching a falling star. Then it stopped falling and just sat there as a fireball. I watched it until I needed to go into the store. When I came out, it was gone.
Location: Mishawaka, Indiana, USA. Shape: fireball. Duration: 10 minutes. Know of observers: 1. Characteristics: left a trail. July 29th, 07, 0620, Mishawaka. 3 lights with tails in shape of upside-down triangle moving east. 3 fireball-looking spots in the sky with a trail in the shape of an upside-down triangle. 1 on each point. I was driving toward them and they were moving away from me much quicker than I was moving toward them. When I turned off of Douglas Road onto Bittersweet toward Granger, I pointed at them to another car and they stopped their car to watch. I watched them until they were disappearing. They remained in this pattern until they were disappearing.
Occurred the 4th of July 2008, 12 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Location: Granger, Mishawaka, Indiana, USA. Shape: changing. Duration: 3 minutes. Know of observers: 4. Characteristics: lights on object, changed color, it kept blinking and turning off. It was on July 4th, so it might have been a firework. Well, there were a lot of them. We know 1 was seen in Mishawaka and 1 in Granger, so they didn't make any noise, so we figured it was an UFO, and there was at least 10 blinking lights and they kept changing shape.
Occurred the 18th of September 2008, 6 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Location: Mishawaka, Indiana, USA. Shape: circle. Duration: 45 seconds. Know of observers: 2. Characteristics: lights on object, a round object with a loud noise and 2 green lights on the top, spinning. It was there and just like that it was gone. My 14-year-old daughter was getting up for school and heard a loud noise outside. She looked out her window and there was a round object with 2 green lights out of the top of it, and the lights were rotating. On her way to school, a girl on the bus said she had seen something this morning, and my daughter waited until she described it. It was the exact same thing she had seen. I don't know how to explain any of this to her. She is a bit frightened. Do we call the news or not?
Occurred the 27th of June 2014, 22 hours 54 minutes and 0 seconds. Location: Mishawaka, Indiana, USA. Shape: light. Duration: 2 minutes. Know of observers: 2. Characteristics: aura or haze around object. 3. Reddish-orange light moving across the sky. We saw 3 orange-red moving lights in a line formation go across the night sky, coming from the south and heading towards the northwest. Have never seen anything like this before.
Occurred the 30th of September 2014, 8 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Location: Mishawaka, Indiana, USA. Shape: light. Duration: 30 seconds. Know of observers: 1. Characteristics: lights on object, 2 bright white lights side by side traveling from west to east off of Dragoon Trail, Mishawaka, just over treetops. 2 bright white lights side by side traveling over treetops from west to east, silently viewed by older woman in early 70s, disappeared after going over neighborhood by Dragoon Trail.
Occurred the 6th of September 2015, 21 hours 5 minutes and 0 seconds. Location: Mishawaka, Indiana, USA. Shape: fireball. Duration: 1 minute. Know of observers: 2-3 burning lights cruising through air 5 seconds apart. Came from south going north, not entirely in straight line but at decent pace, not just floating. Able to watch last one as it cruised north and slowly fade out or out of sight. No idea.
Location: Mishawaka, Indiana, USA. Shape: circle. Duration: 15 seconds. Know of observers: 2. Characteristics: lights on object while stepping outside before night's end. I always look to the stars. There were 3 lights dancing around each other as if they were playing in the night sky. I have seen UFOs before and told my girlfriend. You can imagine the looks she gives me. But last night, May 23, 16, she saw firsthand, and is still in awe.